So this is the demo of the app. You can see a character who is kicking the door. The door is real, whether that character is a part of augmented reality AR model, and you can see that it's like a cartoon. Okay, so let me tell you what we are going to do within this video. So we are going to develop an AR augmented reality app in Android Studio with the help of Google provided dependencies. Let me start the Android Studio here. You can see that now I will be clicking on start a new Android project as we are going to start it from the scratch. So click on it and then choose empty activity and click on next. Here you have to give the name of the project as AR app tutorial, then choose the language as Kotlin, as we are going to code this within a Kotlin language. Afterwards you have to select the minimum SDK as API 24, then click on finish. Make sure you did the previous step as I did. Okay, so now the project is built out, and let me show you what we are going to add in the dependencies. So on Google search this Sceneform Android AR dependencies, and then click on the second result, getting started with Sceneform. Afterwards you will able to see this web page, and here you have a full guide that how a AR model will work with Android. Okay, so first of all let's start with editing the Android XML. So we need to copy these things and paste them within our Android Studio. So let me copy it out. Afterwards go to the Android Studio, and then here you have to paste it out. Okay, so above the application tag you have to paste it out just like this. Okay, then go to Android, go to back to this web page, and then select that metadata. Just copy this out and then paste it just before the closing tag of application. Okay, so our Android XML, Android manifest XML is done, and now we have to move to the next part. Let's search for it. So it is, we have to edit our build Gradle, and here you can see that minimum XDK is 24 as we have did already, and now these dependencies are left out. So let me copy them by Ctrl C and then move to the Android Studio, and within this Gradle script click on the second one, module 1, and then here you can also see that minimum SDK is 24, which is satisfied as per the need of this AR dependency. And now here you have to paste it out. So we have pasted the dependencies here. Now we will just come into the plugins, and within the plugins we have to add few plugins regarding this dependency. So let me add them. It's ID, then within inverted commas you have to write this com.google.ar.sceneform.plugin. Then come to this build Gradle, the first one, project 1. Here you have to add a class path for this Sceneform dependency. So let me add this. It is almost similar than that of previous one, com.google.ar.sceneform, then plugin, and the plugin is 1.12.0. then click on sync now. So the project is being built up with downloading these dependencies. So finally it is okay. Now you can see that these are the module files that we need while making this project. So what does this contain? So let me show you this thing. From this photo, a image will form, and that image will work out as a model. You can see that different parts of the body is there in the image, and you have already seen that the demo. So that image or that character is formed from this model. Okay, so first of all, let me come back to this website and see. Here you can see that we have to add Sceneform asset, and we have already added our apply plugin. So copy this and just paste it after the dependency curly braces. So first of all, you can see that we have already added the plugin which is mentioned over there. So paste the Sceneform asset here, the copied dependency. Now these are the dependencies given by Google, but we are using our dependencies, so we have to just uh, form a directory and copy our dependencies between that. Here you can see that these are our dependencies. Don't worry about these dependencies. I have given the downloading link of these dependencies in the video description. You can download all these dependencies from that link. Okay, so first of all, let me see what does we need. So this one, sfa.fbx, and then this fvm. SFB is left out, which will be going to add in the next step. So copy these three, and then just you have to right click here and here on the app, and then show in files or show in explorer. Now you will able to see that. Now make new folder, sample data. Make sure the folder name is sample data, then paste the dependence, paste that models here. Okay, so we have pasted out our 3 models. You can check out the names. Okay, then we have to change our models here by our models, and you can write just these things. Okay, model, then underscore fight dot sfa. Afterwards we have to make a set. So right click there and go to new, then folder, then asset folder, then finish. So here you can see that asset folder is ready. Now we need a dependency sfb. Just open this folder and you will be able to see a dependency. Just copy this, Control C. I've already told you that the downloading link of these dependencies is present in the video description. You can download them by that link. So paste it here, the copied dependency, by Control V, then do the refactor. Okay, so now change it here at the last, main asset, and its name is model underscore fight. Okay, so all the dependencies added. Click on sync now. Afterwards the model is built out and it's looking pretty good. Now we have to move forward to our XML or design part, so that we can design the screen of the application, as you can see that. But before that we need to add few more dependencies here. So let me add them by myself. The animation one, so it is com.google.ar, then Sceneform. Afterwards it's animation one, so write animation, and now you have to give its version like 1.13.0. Click on sync now. So here the project is being synced out. Wait for some time. Yes, it is done. Okay, so for now let me try to see what else is left out before going to that design part. So nothing is left out. Just go to this design part within rest layout. You can see that the main layout, only one activity is needed for this application, and so one design is perfect for all this. Remove this text view. After removing this, you have to add few things within this constraint layout. So first of all, let me add the fragment which will contain the screen of AR models or AR model functioning of working. Okay, give them id as Sceneform fragment, and then you have to give its name. So its name is com.google.ar dot Sceneform, and then ux dot ar fragment. Okay, okay, done. Now you have to give something, but before that we will just verify that we have given the fragment rightly. So here you can see that it is given that in the website, and on this under distribute is same. Okay, so we have just verified it, and now we have to add three buttons here. So let me add first button firstly. Give its width and height as wrap content. Afterwards you have to give the id for this particular button, and let me give it the id as animate idle button. So on clicking the idle button, the character or the person will not move. It will remain in an idle position or in the rest position. So now some properties regarding to the parent constraint view that we have added already. So it's like start to start of parent, bottom to bottom of parent, and then end to start of a next element which we are going to add. So the id is left out. Then the margin is 25 dp and the text is idle. Okay, then close it. Afterwards you have to copy this button, but before that you have to add the margin from the left side, and it should be 20 dp so that it can be its perfect position. And now let me copy this button. After copying this button, just paste it here, and here you have to change few properties, like you have to change it idle to kick, and then here you have to remove this, sorry, and we will just change it, not removing, add to end of, and let me add parent and remove this extra line. Okay, so now you can give its thing like that everything is good, but the text is not of our choice. So let me change the text to kick, so it's looking good. And now you have to add the constraint end to start off as animate kick button. Okay, so after this you will not need the margin, so remove the margins. Okay, just take it as here. Now copy and then paste that. Afterwards you have to change the id, and the id should be boxing. Okay, so by clicking on boxing, the person or the character will doing the boxing, and by clicking on kick, it will just kick on something, and then just remove this. Afterwards you have to also change this to end of, and then you have to add what you want to give like parent. Okay, so this is ready to go and everything is good. Now just let me change the text to boxing. Okay, perfect. Now everything is good. Let me remove this extra space, and now let me just scroll it down so that if you have messed up at anywhere or facing any error, then pause the video and correct your code. Okay, so now let me move to the project and our Kotlin file, and we have to edit this, and I'll make sure that it won't take more than 11-12 minutes. Within these minutes this app will complete and you will able to see the output. Okay, so first of all you have to give the AR fragment object. So let me tell you about the models of this application. Actually various models are present on the internet. You can download any model of your choice and then you can add that within your asset or that sample data as we have did. And now let me do these things. First of all, as I am doing the AR fragment, then the URI, and then model renderable, and checking it with null, and doing the same with the model animator. Okay, so afterwards you have to come within this on create method of main activity, and here you have to write as AR fragment equals to scene form, then underscore, and then fragment as AR fragment. Don't worry about the error, we will be correcting every single error while completing this app. Okay, so now the model. So here we are adding the model equals to uri.parse, and then the model name as model underscore fight.sfb. Okay, so afterwards this, what you have to do is to give another things like AR fragment dot set on tap plane listener. Okay, so the third one which will contain all these things, the curly braces one. Then afterwards you have to set up that motion event. So it is for when you are set on tapping that AR plane listener, so you are checking up that plane on which that the character will appear. So the plane will look for a spot which will unique from the all the background that your camera cover. So we are just coding for that purpose right now. It is just like that, plane dot type, and then it should be the second one. Okay, and then here you have to give this as horizontal upward facing. Okay, so now open this if condition, and then you have to return this. Afterwards make another anchor that will create an anchor, and then you have to call place object. What is this place object? Actually it is that function which will place the character or the person on the particular plane which is determined by that tap AR plane listener. Okay, so within this we are passing the fragment, anchor and model, and here we have to create this function. This is a custom function, so we have to code this function here only. So let me make model renderable dot builder and then set source pass air fragment with context, and now you have to give the model. After the model you have to build this, and then accept after building, and it should be the curly braces one. Afterwards you have to call the renderable and then it, and afterwards you have to add to scene, and then you have to pass the fragment air fragment and then anchor, and at last it is it. So this function add to scene is also a custom function, but before that making we have to go for the exceptionally then variable builder equals to alert dialog. So here we will show alert dialog, and for that alert dialog contain in the message part, let's see, so set the title as error. If somehow your camera is not working or any other issue, then this will help. This alert dialog will tackle all these things. Now we have just showing this dialog and then returning the null exceptionally. Okay, so afterwards now we have to uh, add a new function here, so which is this add to scene. Click on that red bulb, and here we need this function, and it's the perfect place. So first of all, let me make anchor node here, and it will contain anchor node, and then passing the anchor within it. Afterwards you have to go for the skeleton node, so let me do it, skeleton node, and then you have to give that skeleton node dot renderable and equals to renderable, and then the node is transformable node. Then we are passing the air fragment within this with transformation system. Then we are adding a child and passing a skeleton node between that parameter. Okay, now we are setting the parent for that node as anchor node, and then we are just going for that air fragment dot ar scene preview dot scene, and we are adding the child, and within child you have to go for node, that is anchor node. Okay, so now what we have to do is to see the extra space and remove this. Okay, so I have removed the extra space, and now what we have to do is to just call those buttons, what those button will function. So let me set up all this by on click listener. Okay, so first of all you have to give this name. So this is showing error because we have not added a id or plugin here. So let me paste it. It's Kotlin Android extension, add this. Okay, and then click on sync now. If you have not done this or doing this, then you will face errors. So now let me remove this, and we'll enter it again so that it will come in the suggestion. As you can see that it appears, and now okay, done. You just have to set up that set on click listener, second one, and then pass animate model, then character, afterwards the XOR, then kick. Okay, just paste it two more times by Control D. Okay, and now let me change its identity, or making the correct identity, to idle button and boxing button. Doing the same for this XML end part, or the parameters part. And now you have to generate this function. So create function and change its string to name. Afterwards, this is the last function of this application, and this application will able to run. So first of all, let me do this. Animator does not let id is stat. If it is running, then what they have to do is to it dot end. And now you will do for the renderable let pass model render, and then what you have to set is to set the data here as while data, and then animator. So doing all this like model animator and passing the parameters data and model renderable, and afterwards second last one, as we are doing animator dot start. Here you can see that everything is good. And now let me scroll it down. You have faced any error, pause the video and correct your code. Okay, so as you can see that no error has been detected yet, so it's high time to click on subscribe button. Okay, also don't forget to press that bell icon too. So now let me run this. So it is installing, and after installing it will take few time or some minutes to find you. Here you can see that my room, and by clicking on that mat, the character appears. So you can see that this character is girl, and made up of that particular image contains its every body part. And if I able to click on these various buttons, then let me see, also you can move this by the help of that white circle. So here you can see that if I'm click on kick button, then it is kicking that door. Okay, so it's all augmented reality. Now try boxing here, and if you click on the mat again, then one more character will appear here. So you can see that it's pretty good, and look like you have made AR, that is augmented reality application in Android Studio. So let me do it again and again, like you can do various actions. And firstly it will take some time. What you have to do is to place a doormat like this within that flooring, and then while starting this app you have to take this in focus and click on that mat 2-3 times. It take time in setting up. Okay, afterwards it will run smoothly. So I am requesting all of you to please subscribe Techno Learning, so that we can post more videos regarding the Android and further